Hey, this is Mike in the Film Lab on the Substream.com, made in conjunction with Whites Interactive, from whom we were able to rent all of this. In this episode of the Gear Guide, we're going to be talking about lighting packages, specifically the Tungsten lighting package from Whites Interactive, what it is, what comes in it, and why you need to rent it. If you've been following along in the Film Lab for the past couple of weeks, you know that we're getting ready to shoot Matt Brown's Elevator movie, which now is titled Who Remembers How It Ends. Ryo, who's operating camera back there, actually built a really good elevator set here in our studio, and because he built it using the fundamentally sound, smart techniques of set building, he built it to be modular. You can see pieces of the set all around the studio here. It's modular. It can be one enclosed four-walled box, a really small elevator that you can light from the top, or you can fly away the front wall, the side walls, or the back wall, which means that the director, Matt Brown, has a bunch of flexibility on the day because he can move walls anywhere he wants. And because he's the director, he's decided to indulge his privilege and be flexible on the day in terms of camera angles and such. Normally, this flexibility would be trouble for a DOP on a budget because while directors and actors can be flexible, it's hard to be flexible when all you've got is a couple of lights and a couple of C-stands. That's a pretty rigid proposition, which is why we've decided to go with a complete tungsten lighting package from Whites Interactive. If you're super rigorous about planning out all of your shots in advance and knowing that you won't shoot anything other than that, you can get away a lot of times with taking fewer lights from a rental house. But you probably won't actually save any money, and you definitely won't have the flexibility that something like this affords. It costs $300 a day, which is a really, really good deal, and it includes all kinds of stuff that's useful for lighting inside a controlled tungsten environment. You get 6 Kino fixtures, including 2 4-foot 4-bulb fixtures, 2 4-bulb 2-foot fixtures, and a mini 15-inch Kino kit that's got 2 fixtures there. You also get 6 airy Fresnel lamps, including 2 big 2K lamps, 2 650s, and 2 300-watt pipas, as JP, our favorite DOP who's going to be lighting this thing, calls them. You also get a bunch of C-stands, grip arms, extra grip heads, a bunch of riser stands, as well as a whole bunch of grip and electric gear, like all kinds of sandbags, Cardellinis, dimmers. You get cube taps, AC, and a box of flags. You get a lot of stuff. So much stuff, in fact, that you get 12 lamps total, split evenly between Kino fixtures and airy fixtures, which means that half of them are nice, big, soft, lightweight fixtures, and half of them are big, powerful, punchy tungsten Fresnel fixtures, which again offers you flexibility, because if you're shooting inside a set or an apartment or a building somewhere with tungsten light, you have enough lights that you can light a couple or 3 actors properly with key, fill, and backlight, and still have enough fixtures left over to shape the background of your set or your location. You know, this is a lot of stuff and it's a big package, but what it does buy you for not that much money, really, this is like an astoundingly good deal for $300, is the flexibility to do stuff like pre-light the next setup while people are tearing down the previous setup, stuff that actual, real working TV and film professionals do. So in that way, flexibility doesn't just buy you a bunch of lamps to light a really crazy scene. It buys you actual, time and energy on set, which from a production planning point of view is worth way more than the amount of money that you'd save, $40, by taking, 3 of these lamps instead of all 12 in a package. So in the next episode of the Gear Guide, we're actually going to put all of this stuff to use, give it over to our DOP friend JP, who's going to light Matt Brown's movie inside Ryo's set, and we'll have a bunch of behind-the-scenes footage from the production of Who Remembers How It Ends to show you how all of this stuff actually gets put together by a pretty talented DOP. Shooting inside a really beautiful set, Ryo. You did a great job. So join us next time for that and more.